Welcome to the Data Scientist Podcast with Dr. Stylianos Kabakis. Dr. Kabakis is a data scientist, statistician, and blockchain expert with a mission to educate the public about the wonderful capabilities of technologies like AI, data science, and DLTs. These technologies have the potential to transform the world, the economy, and our lives. However, there is too much misinformation around tech, and so most people are just confused about what is true and what is not. Whether you are a CEO, an entrepreneur, or just an enthusiast, the Data Scientist Podcast helps you separate reality from hype.
Hi everyone. In this episode, I'm going to discuss why data science is the future of marketing. So obviously, that's a very strong statement. But, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Let me explain to you why. So marketing is one of the most data-rich fields out there. So everything in marketing is turning digital. So we have, digital ads, we have like email campaigns, we have chatbots, we have great tracking capabilities. We can collect all kinds of information around a user and aggregate information from different channels. So the amount of data available in marketing is immense. Even, a small company probably generates gigabytes worth of data through the marketing campaigns over the course of a single year. So given that there's so much data, it makes sense to ask the question, okay, so how can we make the most out of our data? How can we use this data in order to improve our marketing efforts? And this is really where data science comes in. And it's not possible to talk about all the different use cases of data science within marketing. We are going to do this over, quite a few episodes. But I can still discuss about a few interesting use cases. So I think one of the most popular and older use cases is customer segmentation, where the goal is to basically understand how the users or your customers are grouped in different clusters. So for example, let's say you are a retailer, you run your own chain of supermarkets, and you believe that the users can be categorized in different groups. Maybe you believe that one group, are families, another group are students, university students, another group are elderly people, etc. And so you can use a clustering algorithm to discover those groups and discover how they are formed and what the archetype of each group looks like. And that's obviously a very powerful thing to do, because once you do this, then you can create different campaigns for each type of customer and target them in a different way. So this is one of the oldest applications of data science in marketing. However, we have recently started to see some other applications which are even more interesting. One such application is contextual advertising, where the goal of contextual advertising is to try and understand what the user is doing at any particular point in time, what are they looking for, but also what's the profile of a user, and show them a relevant ad. So to give you an example, let's say that you are a sports fan and you are on a sports page, reading the news about your favorite football team. So if you use a contextual advertising algorithm, what this algorithm would do, it would pick up all this information and maybe display an ad from a betting site. Whereas with regular advertising, you may just see some, ad that's not relevant to sports, maybe an ad about, food or whatever. So it's clear that contextual advertising is one way to rapidly increase click-through rate. It makes sense. Another very interesting application of data science is in attribution modeling. So attribution modeling describes a problem where, when in a marketing campaign, marketeers use different channels in order to reach out to the customers. One of the most important questions is, okay, so which channel is the best one? Yeah, which channel creates the highest number of conversions? And that's not always easy to find because all these channels might be interconnected. So one user might go from the website to, some promotional material, and then they might see some ad on the street, and then they might hear a podcast and I don't know what, and eventually they're converted. So we can solve this problem through some statistical modeling or machine learning algorithms by simulating different paths through all those channels and ask questions like, okay, so we had 3 advertising campaigns and we have, 3 landing pages. So what would happen if we removed one of them? And then we can simulate the answer, and see how this would affect a user's journey. So that's another interesting application. I talk up more about all this on my blog. I mean, this might be too much information to share over a single podcast, but obviously you know that you can always reach out to me if you have any questions, and I always have material and free resources to send over to you if you want to learn more about the subject. And finally, the final use case I'd like to mention, which might actually be my favorite, is the use of AI for creative purposes, for content generation. So through the technology of generative adversarial networks, it is now possible to do things like generate text that looks as if it was written by a human author, or even do things like, generate images or even videos. And this technology is rapidly advancing. So I believe it is a matter of time until we see this technology being deployed in marketing for, writing copy, for creating ads. And in fact, I think there are a few startups that are looking into this as we speak. So this was a brief coverage of some of the ways that data science can help in marketing. In other sessions, I'm going to be talking about some other use cases, or maybe expand on existing use cases. I hope you found this interesting, and as always, if you want to talk more about this topic, feel free to reach out to me through my blog, thedatascientist.com. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope to see you again soon in some other podcast. Thank you and bye.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to visit thedatascientist.com for more content about data science, AI, and blockchain.